Okay, now this is the kind of movie where I think, you know, it's a great date movie. There's no question about it, but I was bawling my head off. Are you the kind of guy that sits in the theater and you're really tough and brave, or do you actually cry?
No, I cry. I cry all the time. I'll probably cry when you leave. I know I'll cry when I leave, but I cry at movies. I actually cried at the end of the script when I read it. I mean, often you finish a script and when you have tears in your eyes and you're really genuinely moved. I had the same thing with the Phantom of the Opera when I finished reading that. You know you have a good thing going, and this script did that to me a lot. So no, I can let go. I have my moments in life where I notice there's a couple of months where I'm not crying as much as I do, and other times I'm bubbling away. But I cried in this film. I've never seen so many people cry in a movie as in this. You know, especially the women. Every woman, the whole film, they're just crying and laughing the whole time. Yeah. So that's, to me, laughing and crying. You know, one is there, one is there. If you can get people to do both at the same time, you can't beat that.
What Gerry does for Holly in this movie is pretty amazing, you know. I mean, I read the book, and it's, you know, it is really an amazing story. Are you a hopeless romantic? Do you think you'd see yourself doing something like that?
No. I mean, that's pretty damn impressive. Sure. I'm not going to tell you that I would be that impressive. You know, there's parts of me that are in Gerry, without a doubt, you know, and he is fun. He is a charmer. He can be silly. He has the big puppy dog in him, but he has something that's way more than that. Something that's very actually spiritual and profound and ancient kind of wisdom in him that comes. It's nothing for him. He's just instinctively has it, you know, and a selflessness that comes out as the movie goes on that is just, it's really inspirational and beautiful. I can't tell you that I have that. I wish I had that.
Well, you've done a really wonderful job in this. It's always great seeing you, and what a year. Congratulations. We hope we see you at the Oscars for 300. Wow. That's going to, I think you're going to see some nominations there. Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations.
Thanks,
did a great job. Lovely talking to you. Thank you. Okay, you can strip down now.
Yeah. You promised.
You did.
You promised.
I actually can't because I have a huge cock.
Do you ever think in all your career that you would be upstaged by a pelican?
You know, you don't even see the half of it. There was a scene where I was trying to work with the pelican, and he flew behind me, and he nips, and he can really hurt. And I had to do the scene. I thought, I'm not going to cut because we might get some great stuff. You couldn't see the pelican. You just saw his wings going like this, and people said it looked like I had these wings. I was an angel. I was about to fly away. But I tell you, they're awesome. You sit next to them, and you go, this is incredible, but they're unpredictable. You don't know what they're going to do. So, yeah, I was upstaged, but I was too busy, you know, watching myself being upstaged by Abigail.
I understand there was a little swear jar thing happening there, Gerard.
Yeah, there's a swear jar. She swore like a trooper. I couldn't believe it. No. Yeah, I can't help myself. And I said to myself, literally before this film started, I'm going, you're working with a young girl and Jodie Foster, do not swear. And the next minute, I'm like, dude. She started saying, you know what? Every time you swear, it's $2. And she would hear me from the other side of the studio. I'd be like, how did you hear that? Or she'd find out from somebody. So it was like, it felt like it was $2. And then she never let me off with any of it.
So I just have to ask you, this is the most beautiful setting, I think. It's just awesome to do an interview here. Yeah, it's okay, you know, whatever, you've been all over the world. But what's your idea of a perfect day?
My idea of a perfect day is, I think it's when, actually it's got to do with adventure. It's when there's something that you didn't want to do, that you make yourself go and do. Could be an adventure, it could be just something really cool, but you were being negative about it. You go and do it, and you have the time of your life. And you have more of the time of your life because you really didn't want to do it. And you go home and you just go, wow, I wish I could do that more often. And that is actually kind of like this film. It's just embracing the moment and going for it and realizing that so much of what goes wrong is just what is in our head, fear, you know, or negativity. But so to do something really cool.
Well, it was awesome seeing you in this film, and we're going to see you in lots more. It's always great to talk to you.
You too.
You rock.
You too.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
Now enjoy Hawaii, huh?
This guy is 1-2 that really just caught your eye. And his gang.
You know, I loved him as a person. You know, it's always fun to play somebody who's a bit dangerous and a bit cool. but it's even more fun to play somebody who's kind of like that, but then they're kind of not. You know, they're kind of dangerous, but they're kind of silly, and they're kind of cool, but they're kind of stupid. And he has all of those things going on in spades, you know, and so he's constantly surprising you, I think, with the kind of person he is. So that's I like that.
And he has his issues with Handsome Bob. Yeah, there's something going on there.
Yeah, not his fault. You know, he was just taking everything at face value, I guess, as you do, and then you get a, as he calls it, was it a broadside?
Oh yeah.
A bit of a broadside. It's such a great scene.
Yeah.
There's so many. It's funny doing these interviews and people bring things up, and I just start smiling and laughing, and that's what it's been like, even for the actors. Even other great films that are films that I've been really happy with, they're not generally movies that you sit and go, what about that bit? What about that bit?
Right.
But with this, we all sit and we're like, what about that bit you did? Or what about that bit they did? And there's so many.
Well, what about that chase scene with the Russians?
Exactly.
Okay, come on, tell me about shooting that, because that's insane. That's so classic Guy Ritchie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, I think even Guy outdid himself in this one. There's no end to that. And playing with that idea that you come up against somebody that you just can't beat, and perfect people would be Chechens, because of course we have this idea that they're just tough mothers, those Chechens, and no matter what we do, they keep coming back, you know, and that's funny enough. But then put yourself in the position of the person that's on the other end, the person that's trying to escape, which is us. So it goes on and on and on. You become more and more exhausted. So it's funny, but it's kind of scary as well, because once you climb in, you know, into, say, my head when I'm running it, and you realise these guys are coming, they've got dirty big machetes, and they ain't stopping, and there's nothing I can do to get away. They just keep coming and coming and coming.
It's great.
But it's a very funny scene.
Yeah. Are we ever going to hear you sing in a movie again, on a personal note? Come on.
I'm sure it's going to come. I don't know if it'd be a musical, but I'm sure I'll be singing somewhere down the line.
Okay, do it for me, okay? Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good, great
Please
job.
tell me that there was no method acting involved here, Gerard.
See, that's a trick question, because if I tell you that there was method acting involved, then I'm kind of saying that I'm not like that. You're saying, you know, you're pretty much telling me to say that I am like this. It's clever, and I'm not like this at all. This is not me. But no, there's a part of me in Mike. There's a part of every guy in Mike in terms of the way we think at times, the things we'd like to say but don't. And to be honest, there's a lot of that in women.
Looking at the ads, the poster for this, and, you know, the heart on the woman's head and the heart in the man's crotch. Okay, I mean, Gerard, is that the way it is? Seriously.
No, you know what? I think that there's definitely an element of truth about that, but then again, you could also take the heart and put it in the guy's head, move the woman's down to her crotch, and there'd be an element of truth in that. There'd be a lot of truth, especially contemporary society, if you moved them both down to the bottom and said that's where we're thinking from. But what I like, if I'm being a little bit romantic, is that they kind of come up and down and they meet somewhere in the middle, right about the heart chakra.
Wow, his preaching skills.
I will go to the church of Gerry Butler.
Honestly, thank you very much. I say that honestly, it was the first, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure being preached to.